back in council hands. Rates set to rise, but by how much? A cutting sentence for an infamous shooter. Nathan Friend packs his bags for New Zealand.
This is 9 Gold Coast News with Eva Millick.
Good evening. In a major turnaround, the state government has announced water pricing powers could be handed back to Gold Coast City Council. Premier Anna Bligh claims it'll end the blame game, the dishonesty and confusion being peddled by council.
Ratepayers are at boiling point. Water prices are rising on the coast. The state government has stepped in to stem the flow.
The blame game on water in southeast Queensland ends. Ratepayers say enough is enough. Mr Speaker, we say enough is enough, and we're taking this action today.
In a dramatic turnaround, government water reforms will be disbanded. Gold Coast City Council now has the option to walk away from AllConnects altogether and take back control of water.
This means councils will be solely responsible for the price of water charged to their ratepayers.
A water price cap in line with inflation will also be introduced. It'll slash $125 of ratepayers' water bill next financial year.
We have delivered, where councils have continued to fail and line their own pocket with the profits of ratepayers.
It's a win for ratepayers. Opposition leader Campbell Newman is taking all the credit.
It's partly a win for people across southeast Queensland, but a heck of a lot more needs to happen.
But the Premier claims he's partly to blame for the botched reforms.
Councils appointed boards to run the companies and then wash their hands of any responsibility. Wash their hands, Mr Speaker.
Adam Marshall, 9 Gold Coast News.
The sudden announcement even came as a shock to our city's leaders, busy in a budget meeting when the news broke. Councillors say while it's a major win for the community, ratepayers are being used as a political football.
It's a victory for people power. Council has been given the authority to disconnect from AllConnects, regaining the responsibility for the price of water.
It's a great first victory. We're thrilled with the news.
The governments were sensing the public outrage. The public wasn't going to let this issue go. The public have spoken and the governments have responded.
But today's announcement is being met with caution. Disconnects questions whether the Bligh government has the best interests of the people at heart or is simply out to win the next election.
That the state government, on one hand, are going to say, well, all right, councils, you can go and do what you would like to do. You can divorce yourself from AllConnects, but you're going to have to pay for it.
To me, what we've just seen today in Parliament is purely a political ploy in order to try and take away some of the edge they were losing.
But the big question, after the council spent $25 million to set up AllConnects, can they afford the estimated $100 million to dismantle it?
Right now, the way it's been put is it looks like our ratepayers will pay the costs for this sort of debate and argument and political games that are going.
All politicians have the next election in mind. The bottom line is the public have had a big win.
AllConnects boss Kim Wood wasn't talking, but released a statement saying he had no idea about the government's announcement, and for them it would be business as usual. Kelly Darberg, 9 Gold Coast News.
Gold Coast Council rates could rise as little as $1.53 a week in this year's budget. But on the back of today's water announcement, some councillors believe that figure has been seriously underplayed.
The proposed rise would add around $80 a year to the average household rates.
At this stage, the officers have made a recommendation. We have to go through that as a council.
It'll be the last with Mayor Ron Clark at the helm. Some councillors say the 3.5% estimate is too conservative. The figures were released before councillors even received their budget papers, detailing what needs to be spent and where.
I think that is a bit out of the ordinary to not understand what's in your budget before you could even set those rate increases.
The budget won't be finalised until closer to the end of the financial year. Councillors receive the confidential documents today and will spend the next few weeks debating the issues. The Mayor's hopeful the rise could be less than 3.5%, but on the back of the state government's water announcement today, that may not be possible.
There's a lot of work yet to be done.
But one expense set to rise is parking fines. Council's likely to approve a 40% increase. Ebony Cavallaro, 9 Gold Coast News.
A rare win for jailed shooter Dion Lacey, with the High Court upholding his appeal against an increased sentence.